What's up, Mech Warriors? So, we're going to continue with our series on trial mechs with the CPLT-C1. Probably the most straightforward of all the trial mechs right now. It's indirect fire support. It's an LRM boat. Although I definitely wouldn't call this a boat because I'm pretty sure that it only has 3 tons of LRM ammo, which means 360 missiles, and that's only 12 volleys if you're shooting both of your LRM-15s. Not a lot of missiles. But the reason that I like the C1 is that those 4 medium lasers give it a lot of staying power. So we'll keep that in mind and just get into a game. Okay guys, so here we are in Caustic Valley, and it looks like we have another missile boat. Although I definitely wouldn't call this a boat. Yeah, so as you can see, 360 rounds of ammunition. This thing is not going to be firing missiles for very long. But that doesn't mean that it's a bad mech. I'm not sure if it would be the best trial mech to try to grind C-bills in, just because yeah, with only 360 missiles you're not going to be doing a ton of damage. If you make all of those hit on the correct enemies, it'll probably give you a fair amount. But a lot of your damage is going to come from using your medium lasers effectively once your missiles run out. So as I usually do, I've separated my LRMs into separate buttons on my mouse so that I can fire the volleys separately. Something you almost always want to do on a missile boat. So we're not going to fire at scouts, especially if they have anti-missile system like that, just because it's going to be a waste right now with the fixed 2 LRMs. What we are going to do is try to stick with our team. We're probably going to stick with the Atlases mostly. So I'm going to follow that Atlas up there. The rest of the team looks like they're gunning for this Raven. Don't really want to do that. He's saying stay near the base. I wouldn't say that it's mandatory that we do that right now. We probably want to take out some of their forward scouts right now, though. Okay, so he does have anti-missile system, but we are going to be shooting enough missiles that it won't matter. I do need to check the terrain and see that I'm actually going to be hitting him. So we're just going to fire 1 test volley here and see if we get the register. No, see, it broke lock. So that's why you don't want to shoot both volleys of missiles. I'm going to shoot it at this guy because I think he's out in the open. I can sort of see his signature there through the trees. Oh, we lost lock. That's no good. Hopefully he's staying pretty still though. So our missiles will still be towards him. Yeah, so you want to be firing your lasers a lot if you can. If your teammates are protecting you correctly, you won't have to. Oh shoot! As soon as I talk about not wasting missiles, I go into that. That was a complete waste. So we're going to keep moving now since we're getting some direct fire on us. Got some missiles incoming at me. That's okay. So they're doing a good job of making me waste the missiles. Where they get me to fire a volley at them and then run away. That's how you're supposed to handle missiles. Not much I can do because you need to fire the missiles in order to make them retreat. So it's sort of like one of those moves in chess where you're making the opponent do what they need to, or do what you want them to, so that you'll win. You know what I mean? I'm having trouble explaining it while I'm concentrating on the game. But if I don't fire the missiles at them, they'll just keep shooting at me. So I need to fire missiles at them so that they don't. Because unfortunately our pug team is not being very organized, and they're not advancing as the enemy does this kind of stuff. Shooting this Atlas, I think. Or this is this is an Atlas. He's a missile boat Atlas. Yeah, so he's not, he isn't going the right way. So these missiles will all impact on him. He does have an anti-missile system, but that's not going to make that big of a difference with all these missiles hitting him. So yeah, as you can see, the missiles pretty much feel like a gentle breeze compared to what they were doing before. I was of the opinion that they were underpowered, but I decided that that might be incorrect, just because they were so powerful for so long that like now it's like a rubber band snapping back in place, and like it just doesn't feel right at all. But we'll see. For the moment, I do think that they are a little underpowered, even keeping that in mind. So this guy's a streak catapult. Used to be the most scary thing to see coming towards you at this range, but as you can see, the streak SRM2s are not all coming at my center torso as they used to. Getting some good damage on the side. Oh shoot. I'm such a scrub in this series, man. I feel terrible. All of our team is back. They're letting, unfortunately our team is letting the enemy push us back like this. But now that our missiles are gone, we're pretty much a brawler. By which I mean we want to engage at that sort of middle distance to keep all of our medium lasers doing maximum damage. It's I like that. I like that sort of dynamic switch that the C1 allows. Because you've still got decent speed and maneuverability because of your jump jets. It makes it so that it's not just like a fire and forget, like easy mode mech. You have to be able to adjust. So we're gonna try to get them to shoot at our arms, since those are useless now. We want to try to take off the right arm of that Yellow Wang as soon as possible. It's got a Gauss rifle in it. Won't be as devastating as the AC-20 at close range, but it's still something we don't want shooting at us as much as we can. There's not a whole lot we can do. This is just sort of going to come down to who's the better shot for the most part. We'll do our best to turn the battle though. Because of the only 15 heat sinks, you're not going to be able to what's it called? You're not going to be able to fire constantly. Looks like about 25% heat for each double laser firing. Yeah, about that. Oh no, wait, no, about half that. So, I think one of our teammates is going back to their base. We want to turn our right side now. Well, I want to try to take out this catapult since he's going straight for the base. A catapult with a standard engine actually has decent survivability in this kind of thing, just because you can spread the damage if you're doing what I'm doing, which is basically turning your back to the enemy. Because then a lot of the fire is going to be impacting on your side torsos, especially if they destroy your arms. So that's what we're doing here. We're gonna delay the cap and see if we can't let our team have capped up. Okay. That's alright. Yeah, not a whole lot to say. If you don't know how to do LRM support, it's not that difficult. The hard part is the decision making of when do you want to... Okay, so we're gonna lose. Probably. I don't know. Yeah, so it's the decision making. When do you fire your LRMs? Okay, we lost, but look how much damage we did. Yeah. Okay, I'm actually not going to do a second game just because I think that pretty much says it all. I mean, yeah, there's not a ton of skill when it comes to LRM support. Like I said, it mostly comes down to the decision making. When do I fire my missiles? Do I know that they're going to be hitting? Is it on a target that is going to be taking a lot of damage from missiles? That's the main decision making. The reason that I really like the C1 is because of those 4 medium lasers. It makes you dangerous at close range. Not as dangerous as an actual dedicated brawler, but certainly nothing to be trifled with. Once you actually own your own mech and start unlocking upgrades, you can usually keep up with the turning that scouts will use when they're circle strafing you, trying to take out your back armor. But once you get those upgrades, you can usually keep up with them as long as you keep a decent sized engine inside of it. So what that means is that you're not going to be basically combat ineffective if there's a scout that's attacking you, like an Atlas LRM boat would be. Those guys, they just have to back up against the wall basically and wait for somebody to support them. Alright, but yeah, that's pretty simple.